The Baltimore Ravens still have cap space, but why haven't they signed anybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing Ravens content every single day. If you want to see that daily Ravens content, make sure to subscribe button down below. Hit the notification bell as well if you want to get notified every single time I put a brand new video. Now, in this video today, I'm talking about cap space, talking about the Ravens, talking about general management, talking about the Ravens roster and what they need. Because, if you didn't know, per over the cap, which is the best cap, analysis out there, the Ravens have $9.9 million. We're going to call it $10 million in cap space currently. And that is adjustable. You can make more cap space. This is not, the max. They can't get any more. No. They could still get more. And they've been sitting at this number for a good amount of time. And there's so many concerns that a lot of Ravens fans have and a lot of media members have about this team. And we're not solving any of them currently. So, what I want from you guys in the comment section down below is let me know, when should the Ravens spend their money and how should they spend their money? Because that's two different questions. So, I'm going to talk about the when first, because I think a lot of people will say, if you have money, spend it right away. I disagree with that philosophy. I think what the Ravens want to do is wait. They want to be patient, because when you're patient, you're able to see, okay, who do we have? What are we working with? When you get into training camp and all of a sudden you have three more veteran free agents that, maybe it's, Justin Houston or whatever, Marcus Peters or whatever free agent you want to say, maybe they're playing. All of a sudden the young assets that you have are getting less reps with the first team. And yes, that is, maybe worse for, when the start of the season happens, but in terms of evaluating talent and figuring out what exactly you have, you got to be able to see them. So with the Ravens, right, biggest concerns I think a lot of people have is edge rusher, it's defensive back, it's, maybe interior defensive line. Some people may still say wide receiver, as well as, also left guard. You may think about all that and be like, okay, why don't we sign anybody? Because we want to see what we have there. We want to see if Salah the Mala can, compete at left guard. We want to see how Zay Flowers looks and Odell looks. We want to see how good David Ojabo looks, how good Odafe Owe looks, how good Travis Jones, Justin Madubuike look, as well as, all the Ravens rookies that we drafted, Tavius Robinson, obviously Trenton Simpson, as that hybrid safety linebacker spot, and then cornerback. How does Pepe? How does our rookie Kyu Blue Kelly? How do all those guys, look? And Jalen Armour Davis as well. Don't want to forget about JAD. How do all of them look? Playing together, playing on the field, getting first team reps, going against better wide receivers. And after you see that, then you can say, okay, now what do we really need? And then you go reach out to, whether it's Marcus Peters or Justin Houston or Jason Pierre-Paul or any of the other free agents. There's a lot of free agents still available that are good. If you guys want, I can make videos on those players as well. But there's good edge rushers. There's good cornerbacks that are still available. Why aren't they spending money? Because they want to see what they have. And that's fine. That's going to allow them to make a better roster decision where they don't go, oh, we need corner. They signed corner. And then all of a sudden, maybe Pepe Williams is going to take a huge step, but all of a sudden he gets, kind of suffocated by the talent or the veterans in the corner room. Or same thing with edge rusher. Maybe David Ojabo is going to be our number one, but if we sign Odafe or if we sign Justin Houston, that's going to reduce his playing time, and that's, going to reduce his role. And he's not going to be able to, get more snaps and develop more. Instead, he's going to be hindered. So that's why I think they should wait. Now, in terms of what positions they need, my biggest thing is I think that they would need non-starters. And what do I mean by non-starters? It's not players that won't play. I want players that'll play. But I don't want players that are going to take over for another player, right? I think Justin Houston right now could be a non-starter. And what I mean by that is Ojabo's the one. Justin Houston becomes a third down situational pass rusher, and he subs in for Odafe away. Right? That's the type of situation that I'm seeing. And when you have someone like that, it allows the younger players to get more reps in, but it also allows a guy like Justin Houston to be refreshed. Allows him to have energy as a pass rusher. Third down pass rushers, situational pass rushers are some of the most productive pass rushers in the NFL. And it's for a multitude of reasons. The first off is they have energy, right? The second is it's a change of pace. The offensive tackles haven't seen them very much all game. And then all of a sudden they come in and they're like, oh, here we go. And the offensive tackle's been playing for a while. They've been going up against somebody else. And then all of a sudden you get someone new and they hit you with a quick move, especially when they're vets like Justin Houston. He knows how to do all of them. They trick you. They get to you. They get the sack. And then finally, the other thing is like, they're only playing passing situations. And so they know we have to get after the passer. You know, when you're a edge rusher, you're a Odafe away, and it's 3rd and 2. When you see that play action, you might not go for the sack immediately. You might start to say, okay, I need to protect inside. So instead of, trying to go outside and get the sack, you're like, all right, I need to hold myself here or try and go after the run. And if it ends up being a pass, you're going to struggle to get that sack because you fell for the run bait. If you're a third down situational pass rusher and you come in, it's 3rd and 7 and they play action, which, there's not many offensive coordinators that play action out of that. But I got to tell you, the Ravens do it all the time, or did do it all the time. Shout out to the firing of Gregory Roman. All I'm doing is getting after the quarterback. That is my one job. Sacks. When you don't have to focus on anything else, sacks become a lot easier. That's my opinion. But again, there's other players out there. I think cornerback, I wouldn't hate cornerback, but at the same time, I do really believe in the Ravens' young cornerbacks. I think that's a position where mid-season you go and sign someone. Because a lot of people may not recognize this, but every year, there are very good quality starters that are not signed because players use roster spots for potential rather than current backup depth or good solid role players. Really. You look at guys like Ndamukong Suh. It's like they go on side and then someone signs them. It's like, oh, they look great. Why? Because teams want to use their younger pass rushers. Only the contenders are going to reach out. And so, with a guy like Marcus Peters, I don't even know if Marcus Peters is going to be signed before the season starts. He could be somebody that gets signed mid-season. Same with a guy, if a team needs a running back, Ezekiel Elliott, I think, is a perfect example. He could be signed mid-season by a team. Leonard Fournette, which, thankfully he's okay. He was in a car. I don't think it was a car accident, but his car caught on fire while he was driving on the highway or something like that. Apparently everything's okay, so, wishing the best for him. I don't think he'll be signed this offseason. I think he'll be signed mid-season when a team goes, we need running back help. And they sign him, and then they play great. So, not only should the Ravens not spend all of their money, they should save money because trades happen mid-season, because signings happen mid-season, and you have to be prepared. I think you could get Justin Houston for $6-7 million this year, but save the rest, and when, knock on wood, if something were to happen with an injury at any position, there's going to be a good vet. Except for quarterback. Like, quarterback, you're not going to get a good quarterback. Like, that's not realistic. But you need a wide receiver that can play. Heck, the Rams won a Super Bowl with Eric Weddle, who hadn't played in 2 years. Won a Super Bowl with him. He was the starting safety for the Los Angeles Rams. Because they're like, we need someone. Oh, he can still play? Boom. Signed. Win. Shout out to Eric Weddle for that Super Bowl. But overall, that's just my thought. It's just there are so many free agents that are going to be solid, not signed before the season starts. Wait, if an injury happens, sign someone. If someone's underperforming and you're like, what, we're trying to win the Super Bowl, we need help, sign them. Guys go unsigned. Guys get cut during training camp. Wait, hold out. This is what the Ravens do every year, and I think I see a lot of people get really anxious about it. We didn't sign Justin Houston for a while last year. We didn't sign JPP for a while last year. We're going to use the money. It's not about who we sign. It's about when we sign. I think that's the most important thing. If we sign this, I think if we sign before training camp starts, I think it's probably going to be an edge rusher. If we sign during training camp, it could be any position. If we sign during the season, again, it could be any position. But let me know in the comment section down below, again, your guys' thoughts on who and how, no, not when and how the Ravens should spend that money. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content. I'll see all of you again tomorrow.